Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, everybody, please take your seats. Welcome to the State Department, Mr. Prime Minister, and Mrs. Lee, and Mr. Vice President, Dr. Biden, my counterpart, Foreign Minister Balakrishnan, and Mrs. Balakrishnan, and distinguished guests all. We are really delighted to welcome you here this afternoon. Your Excellency, we have been very, very much looking forward to welcoming you here. I am personally pleased to have a chance to repay you for the many visits I have made to your beautiful country and the warm hospitality I have continually received, and particularly last year when we had a chance to visit. As the President said repeatedly in both private conversation and public, Singapore may be a small country, but it is a small country with an extraordinarily large voice and impact on its region and indeed even on the world. And your leadership, Mr. Prime Minister, over the last dozen years has contributed very significantly to a model of good governance, to economic dynamism, and intercultural harmony. And I am not just saying that because you went to graduate school in Massachusetts. Now, this very elegant set of rooms that we are privileged to borrow for the purposes of our diplomacy see us gathered in a place that is dedicated to the memory of the men and women who founded the United States of America more than 200 years ago. But in Singapore, the memory of the nation's founder is still very much at the forefront of everybody's mind. Back in 1967, when Lee Kuan Yew arrived here for his first state visit, President Lyndon Johnson referred to him as a formidable thinker, as the architect of his nation's future, as the spokesman for a new generation in a new Asia, and as the #1 golfer among all presidents and prime ministers in the world. And in the decades that followed, every element of that description was borne out. During my years in the United States Senate, I was privileged to take full advantage of the chance to meet with Lee Kuan Yew, as the Vice President did, and both of us would attest there was no person, no mind that had as good a sense of strategy and as good an understanding of the region as Lee Kuan Yew. And we were privileged to solicit his thoughts on everything from the rise of China to the emergence of the Asian tigers to the best role for the United States in the region. And I know our friend, the former Secretary Henry Kissinger, is here, and he did the same, right? Didn't all come from Henry, folks, is the point I'm making. The founder, Lee Kuan Yew, was the first to really point out that the center of economic and political gravity in the world was shifting to the east, a trend that was later recognized by President Obama when early in his administration he announced a rebalance of U.S. foreign policy in the direction of Asia. And today, our friendship with Singapore and with Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong is playing a major role in that rebalance. More than 3,700 U.S. companies have a presence in Singapore. Our students sit in each other's classrooms. We collaborate in training the regional leaders of tomorrow. And our armed forces cooperate on every single level. And it was Singapore that actually invited the United States to join the landmark Trans-Pacific Partnership, a pact that is good for American workers and businesses, good for Singapore, good for the environment, and essential to unite 40% of the global economy around standards that create a race to the top, not a race to the bottom. The fact is that if we list the primary challenges facing the globe today to generate shared prosperity, fight corruption, defeat violent extremism, prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons, to preserve the environment, the health of our planet, and to strengthen the rule of law both within and among nations, Singapore and the United States are allies operating absolutely hand in glove on every single one of those issues. And that is what strategic partnership means. And that is a friendship, believe me, worth celebrating, which is precisely what we're here to do this afternoon. I'm glad to say that we have some help in doing that. In the Monroe Room next door, I just had the privilege of showing the Prime Minister a table where our librarians have set up a display of books, maps, and pamphlets related to Singapore's history, which are part of our archive. And both here and downstairs, all of you, we have been entertained by musicians from the United States Navy and Army bands. We will be treated a little bit later to a performance by the stars of Cameron Mackintosh's spectacular new production of Phantom of the Opera. And in the next few minutes, we will enjoy the artistry of our wonderful guest chef, Kevin Spraga of Philadelphia, who is a participant in the State Department's Diplomatic Culinary Partnership Program. So I want to drink a toast, ask you all to join me in a toast, but before you raise your glasses, I just want to say one thing. I listened carefully to the press conference with the President and the Prime Minister, and I just want to say that I heard one of the most exquisite, articulate, powerful arguments for the TPP from the Prime Minister. An argument which literally drew on American history, on Smoot-Hawley, on tariffs, on the things we have tried, and what it brought about, namely a depression. And the Prime Minister said, you know, if you turn in the wrong direction, it may take years to get back from it, and it will be at great cost to the world. So, Mr. Prime Minister, that is what we have come to expect from the Prime Minister of Singapore. It's what we expect from you personally. It's what we're privileged to get. And so I drink a toast to you on the journey traveled between our countries, on the journey yet to be traveled, on the mutual respect and great, great friendship between our countries. Thank you. Cheers. And now it is my privilege to introduce my great friend and the great Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden.